Hey guys, hi, your friendly neighborhood Sarah here, making a really awkward intro. Whatever. Today I'm going to be working on the MR2. We're going to do a little bit of body work on it. I got a little bit of wet sanding left, which I'll just put quickly in a time lapse. But what I want to do today is down here on the front bumper, you see these little vertical slats that go up and down. I can't find the other one. There it is. These right here are not supposed to be red, they're supposed to be black, and they have tons of overspray on them from when this bumper was shot. Look at that, I've got some sockets in here now. 10 to the 12, 10. Hello. Where are you? Where are you? Well, that escalated kind of quickly. The front bumper is off. I didn't really need to take it off to do this, but I wanted to clean behind it. But also, I think I need to replace the radiator on the MR2. I was gonna buy a new one for the TT, but the one on the MR2 looks even worse. Like, it looks like absolute shit. Sanding the bumper. So I'm just going to use some 1500 grit. That's what I've been using to wet sand the entire car with. I'm just going to go ahead and use it on these little vertical slats, and whole goal is to knock down some of this orange peel, just make it kind of level. You have no idea how long that took me to just do that. Morning, peoples. All right. The bumper dried overnight. It came out amazing. I'm so happy with how this looks. I think Plasti-Dip is seriously perfect for this type of an application where you want texture, because that texture gives it like the rough, unfinished plastic look. I know it's probably hard to pick up on camera, but dude, I'm so happy with how this is gonna look. I'm just gonna do one more coat and then peel off the masking tape, because something I've learned with using Plasti-Dip is if you let it dry and you have something masked off and then you try to peel off your masking tape, sometimes you'll end up pulling up your dip that you just laid down. And I might actually take a razor blade and score just around the edge too, just in case, because it's a real problem I ran into with using Plasti-Dip like this before. This is not funny. Come on. So what I have to do, one by one, I have to go through with this razor blade and trim the very edge of the dip. Just like this. See how when I'm peeling this, see how it's taking that dip right there? Luckily that dip is on the old, or the inner piece of masking tape. I didn't sand the runs enough, I don't think. There's still some runs on there. See? See how it's peeling the dip right there? But luckily, that's where I scored it. So, I want it to peel the dip there. I'm gonna snap my fingers and the bumper is gonna be done. I'm not gonna make you guys sit there and watch me peel tape off a bumper. That's gonna look so good with the fog lights in there and the front lip and the amber lenses when I put those in there. I'm so happy how that turned out. See how much better it looks having those blacked out and just creates that solid line with the center beam. So happy. Moving on, next I'm going to do the mirrors. So I have like 5 or 6 different sets of mirrors that came with this car. And the reason why is because they were all harvested to make a set of power mirrors for the car. So the lens for this one is up on my shelf. I just have it out so I don't break it. But these things I'm just gonna go over, like you can see. Now that the dog orchestra is done, you can see here why this car was painted. So these are the mirrors that were on the car. And you see where the clear coat is just baked right off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over these mirrors with some 600 grit, and I'm just gonna get the remainder of the clear coat off and make it nice and level and smooth, so that way when I go to shoot these, it'll have something to adhere to. So from the factory, this car came with like the part numbers and stuff stamped on the back of the mirror, which is kind of dumb because you can see there's old wax buildup in there. So, I mean, if you wax your car and you're not careful, you'll have that happen. So what I did was I just completely sanded them off of the mirror. So when these things are shot and painted, they'll be nice and smooth. I was doing some browsing on the old interwebs last night, looking at different things for the MR2, and I came across a fastback style engine lid that instead of having your regular engine cover that goes right here with the little side blade panels and stuff, what the fastback panel is it goes along this seam, and then it has little louvered vents that go up it with gaps that you actually look through. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think I should go with. Should I go with a fastback style lid, or should I do the body work on this engine cover and side blade panels and just shoot those with paint and put them on the car? So I'm gonna hold off on doing the work on the side blade panels because they are super wavy, and I don't even know if I can use these side blade panels because I don't want to have them full of Bondo. Come on. So you can see now after sanding the entire thing, I actually used 400 grit. The 600 wasn't really doing it. So you can see there's lots of chips in this paint, especially up here towards the front. There was a lot of chips, and I actually ran into a high spot right there and a high spot right here. And then I think this was actually a low spot. Here's a low spot, here's a low spot, here's a low spot. Here's a low spot, here's a low spot. Those are all dents. But what I need to do now is I need to go over those low spots with a skim coat of filler, and same thing over here where these little chips are at. And then I'm gonna sand it again, and I'm gonna use some guide coat so I can see to make sure that it's nice and even before it gets shot with paint. At least that's what I think I'm supposed to do. I figure I just learn by watching videos and doing it myself, and if I screw up, then that's how I learn. You learn from mistakes. Now the trim up there. I'm gonna move on to the trim because I actually don't have anything to do like a guide coat, the stuff you spray on there. I don't have that. Can we just not stop for a second and appreciate how mint the interior is on this MR2? I mean, it is pretty clean interior. You have to admit it. It's heavy. Adjusto. Come on, camera crew. Adjusto. Here's the T-top. Now there's screws on the sides. I could try to disassemble, but Johnny number 5 doesn't like that, so I don't think that's going to happen. This trim right here that goes along the top of the T-top, that is all faded really bad. This I'm going to shoot with the Plasti-Dip just for that nice rubbery plasticky texture that it gives, which I think will match the trim that goes around the windows rather well, and if it doesn't, then I can peel it off and spray paint it. Just so you guys know, Plasti-Dip did not sponsor this video, and I did not talk to the Fonz, so he didn't give me any words of wisdom before I started using some Plasti-Dip. Could we not take a minute though and appreciate Fonz from Dip Your Car's physique? The man's fit. Just gonna say. Ah, that doesn't work. Ta-da, just like that. So I'm not gonna mask off the rest of the glass because if I get overspray, I'll just clean it some glass cleaner. Good enough. Before I shoot this, I got a piece of 800 grit sandpaper with me and some wax and grease remover and a microfiber. I'm just gonna lightly scuff the area. You don't have to do that, obviously, when you're using Plasti-Dip, but I'm gonna do that just because the surface might have a little bit of inconsistencies in it from it being faded. So I'll just kind of go over it lightly and then clean up some wax and grease remover, and I'll spray my Plasti-Dip on there. A little tech tip also, it's no coincidence that these T-tops are really dirty because it's gonna make it a lot easier if these are dirty for me to clean the overspray off of, because it won't really adhere to the glass. It'll just kind of sit on the dirt that's on them. In the meantime, not to toot my own horn or anything, but these T-tops came out so good. I'm so happy with how they turned out. I'm gonna put them on top of the car. We're gonna peel off the masking tape and clean up the glass, and you'll see. I'm happy with it. I'm so glad I used this stuff. That came out so good. I'm so happy with how that looks. It has the same texture, like that rubbery, plasticky texture as over here. So still a little bit, I don't want to touch it too hard. It's still a little bit soft, but yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. Ta-da, camera magic. So this box right here is one of 2 or 3 packages on the way for the MR2, some more upgrades. And I'm not gonna say what is in this box, but all I can say is it's gonna make the car stiff. So anyway, as far as the panels go, all I gotta do is get some guide coat and some filler for that front fender, take care of those little dings on there. I probably should have thought ahead when I made this video and checked to see if my body filler was still good, but it's not, so I gotta get some more, and it's pretty much ready for me to take to the body shop and paint those panels. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video, and don't worry, the bodywork portion is almost done on the MR2, and then we can get into some fun stuff. But it's gotta get done. Next video will probably be on the TT, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye. I thought I would give some Plasti-Dip a try. Now, before you jump down my throat on, that probably didn't sound right either.